Everyone, welcome back to a new post today, and let's look at the current affairs that you need to remember from August 15 point of view for the UPSC upcoming preliminary examination of 2025. And the very first is about G4 nations represented by India, Brazil, Germany and Japan have called for urgent reforms at the United Nations Security Council, emphasizing that without addressing the current lack of representation, particularly permanent membership, UNSC would be ill-equipped to handle the emerging global challenges. So the G4 nations expanding the UNSC membership from 15 to 25 to 26, including 6 new permanent members, 2 from Africa, 2 from Asia, 2 from Pacific, and 1 from Latin America and Caribbean, and 1 from Western Europe and other states, which is the main demand for the G4 nations. The G4 stresses the importance of Africans' representation, noting that Africans' agenda constitutes 70% of the UNSC discussion, yet the continent lacks a permanent voice in decision making. Also, the United Nations, let me tell you, it is an international organization that was established in 1945 with the UN Charter after the World War II. The United Nations Day is celebrated on October 24th annually since 1947, commemorating the organization of the establishment in 1945. The UN founding principles are collective security, disarmament and peacekeeping. The UN structure comprises the organization of the General Assembly, which is a primary policy-making body, the UNSC responsible for peace and security, specialized agencies like UNICEF and the WHO, and you have 6 principal organizations. Now, the issues in the functioning of the UNSC are overrepresentation, underrepresentation of certain regions like the Latin America, Caribbean group, Arab nation, Arab world, Africa, etc. The question of veto. All the 5 members of the UNSC enjoy veto power. However, the veto has been misused to put national interest ahead of global interest, non-transparent and north-south inequality. These are some of the pressing issues. Apart from that, we have India's proposed model for the UNSC as well. The next most important issue with regard to the prelims that you need to remember is forever chemicals. Researchers have now developed a groundbreaking technique to track and manage forever chemicals, specifically known as polyfluoroalkyl substances or PFAS. These human-made toxic chemicals are used in many various applications like waterproofing, non-stick surfaces and food packaging as well, and are notorious for their durability, persisting in the environment for thousands of years and also causing significant pollution. The researchers employed nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy, which uses magnetic fields and radio waves to analyze the molecular structure of these chemicals without breaking them apart. This method identifies unique fingerprints of carbon isotopes, enabling the tracking of chemicals for their source to their destination as well. And we have a PFAS cycle as well that has been looking into study. Apart from that, we have ballast water. So the expansion of seaports and now minor ports is raising concern about the arrival of invasive species along the coastal areas, particularly due to the ballast water being carried by the ships. A survey carried out by 10 invasive species in the Kerala coast, including seaweed, bryozoan, mollusks and the ascidian species. Ballast water which ships carry for stability often contains a variety of marine organisms like fish, algae and bacteria. When discharged into the new ports, these organisms can establish themselves in the legal ecosystem, potentially disrupting it by preying or competing with native species. And additionally, ballast water can transport toxic algae, leading to harmful algal blooms and red tides as well. And recently, the Union Minister for Jal Shakti launched a version of the Flood Watch India mobile application app developed by the Central Water Commission. This upgraded app enhances flood monitoring capabilities by integrating real-time data from 592 flood monitoring stations, a significant increase from the 200 stations in the previous version. Additionally, the app now includes data on storage levels of 150 major reservoirs, helping users assess the potential flood risk in downstream areas. And Tarang Shakti was a multilateral first ever air exercise of India, showcasing the capabilities of indigenously manufactured aircraft, including Sarang helicopters and LCA Tejas. The exercise is being conducted in 2 phases. The exercise is a significant achievement, emphasizing on India's focus on Atmanirbharta or self-reliance and showcasing indigenous military capabilities like India's Rafale, Sukhoi and the LCA Tejas aircraft, which is part of the first phase as well. And the next most important is about distribution denial of service attack. Now this was a news because recently in an interview on a platform, there were technical glitches reported due to a massive DDoS attack. So DDoS, or distribution denial service of attack, occurs when multiple sources overwhelm a server with excessive traffic, making it very difficult for the legitimate users to access the service, and this can result in slow downing times or complete inaccessibility. Such attacks are harder to counter because they originate from multiple sources, often using botnets or spoofed IP addresses. And the distribution denial service of attack disrupt online services by overwhelming them with traffic. Attackers use various methods like botnets and also network of compromised devices. One such method is the Smurf attack, involving sending malicious ICMP broadcast packets with a spoofed IP address to flood the target's own servers. And another method is SYN, or SYN flood, which involves sending incomplete connection requests and overloading the server again and again. So these are the most important issues I thought I should be discussing with you for August 15. If you did, please do like, share and subscribe, and don't forget to comment at the end of the video, and I shall see you in the next post for August 16. Until then, it's very happy learning.